Hello everyone, Jack here. Welcome to Infinite Curiosity. Welcome to our channel. Today we are diving into a topic that affects almost all of us, procrastination. You know that feeling, right? That invisible force field that keeps you glued to the couch when you swore you'd hit the gym? We've all been there. But here's the good news. Procrastination isn't a life sentence. It's a habit, and like any habit, you can break it. We're going to arm you with 10 powerful, actionable steps to kick procrastination to the curb and unlock your productivity powerhouse. We're talking about simple, practical strategies you can use right now to stop putting things off and start getting things done. Get ready to ditch the guilt, silence that inner critic, and finally achieve those goals you've been dreaming about. Let's do this. Listen up, because this is crucial. Stop defining yourself as a procrastinator. That label is like a weighted blanket holding you down in a cycle of self-sabotage. Words have power. When you say, "I'm a procrastinator," you're basically giving yourself permission to stay stuck. Instead of saying, "I'm a procrastinator," start saying, "I sometimes procrastinate, but I'm working on becoming someone who takes action." Feel the difference? That simple shift in language changes everything. It acknowledges that you're not perfect, but you're committed to growth. And here's the key. Celebrate every single win along the way. Did you finally clean out that junk drawer? High five. Finish that work project you've been putting off? You're a rock star. These small victories might seem insignificant, but they're huge. Why? Because they're proof that you're changing. They reinforce this new identity you're creating, the identity of someone who takes action and gets things done. And that, my friend, is incredibly powerful. One of the biggest reasons we procrastinate is that we get overwhelmed. We look at a big, hairy, audacious goal, and our brain throws a party, a pity party where the guest of honor is fear. But here's the secret. You don't have to eat the whole elephant in one bite. Instead, break that monster down into bite-sized, manageable micro steps. This is where the 2-minute rule comes in. Ask yourself, what's the absolute smallest step I can take to get started? Maybe it's just putting on your workout clothes, opening up that work document, or writing the first sentence of that blog post. The point is, make it so ridiculously easy that you can't say no. Because here's the magic. Motion creates momentum. Once you start taking those tiny steps, you trigger something powerful in your brain. That resistance you were feeling starts to melt away, and you find yourself actually wanting to do more. So ditch the overwhelm, embrace the power of micro steps, and watch your productivity soar. Time blocking is like giving your day a clear roadmap instead of driving around aimlessly, hoping you'll reach your destination. Grab your calendar and assign specific time slots for your tasks. Treat them like important appointments you can't reschedule. Now let's supercharge your time blocks with the Pomodoro technique. It's crazy simple. Set a timer for 25 minutes and work on a single task without distractions. When the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break. Repeat this cycle 4 times. Then reward yourself with a longer 20 to 30-minute break. This technique is a game changer because it leverages the power of focused bursts of work followed by short, rejuvenating breaks. It prevents burnout and keeps you from getting bogged down for hours on end. Remember, you're in control of your time. By using time blocking and the Pomodoro technique, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish and how much more in control you'll feel. Design your environment for action. Your environment can either be your best friend or your worst enemy when it comes to procrastination. Look around you. Is your workspace a cluttered mess? Is your phone constantly buzzing with notifications? Are you surrounded by temptations that pull you away from your work? It's time to create a workspace that minimizes distractions and screams productivity. Clear the clutter, find a comfortable chair, and make sure you have good lighting. Turn off those pesky notifications on your phone and use website blockers if you need to. Think about visual cues that inspire you. Maybe it's a vision board with your goals, a motivational quote, or even just a plant to bring some life into your space. And remember to create separate zones for work and rest. When you're in your workspace, it's time to focus. When you're in your relaxation zone, allow yourself to fully unwind and recharge. By designing an environment that supports your goals, you'll be amazed at how much easier it is to stay on track. Make it emotional. Tie tasks to a why. Let's be honest, sometimes our to-do list can feel about as exciting as watching paint dry. But here's the secret sauce. Connect your task to a bigger why. Why is this task important to you? How does it align with your values, your goals, your dreams? Tap into the emotional fuel that will power you through those moments of resistance. Maybe it's the thought of finally fitting into those jeans, the pride of finishing that creative project, or the joy of providing for your family. Write down your why and keep it somewhere visible. Create visual reminders of what you're working towards, whether it's a vision board inspiring quotes or pictures that ignite your passion. When you connect with your why, tasks transform from mundane chores into meaningful steps towards the life you want to create. Lower the stakes. Let's face it, perfectionism is the evil twin of procrastination. We put so much pressure on ourselves to do everything flawlessly that we end up doing nothing at all. Here's a permission slip to ditch perfectionism and embrace good enough. Give yourself permission to do tasks imperfectly, especially at first. Remember, you're not aiming for an A+ on every single thing you do. You're aiming for progress, not perfection. Focus on taking action, even if it's messy, imperfect action. The key is to lower the stakes, to take the pressure off and just start. You can always go back and refine things later, but the first step is to simply begin. And guess what? You'll probably surprise yourself with how well you do when you're not busy judging yourself every step of the way. Practice self-compassion. Okay, let's talk about that inner critic, the one that loves to beat you up when you procrastinate. You know that voice, right? The one that says, "You're so lazy. You'll never get anything done." What's wrong with you? Time to give that voice a time out. Seriously, it's not helping. In fact, it's making things worse. Instead of beating yourself up, try responding to procrastination with kindness and curiosity. Ask yourself, what's getting in my way? What do I need right now? Maybe you're tired, overwhelmed, or just need a break. Listen to your body and your mind and respond with compassion. And when you do manage to take action, even if it's a small step, celebrate it. Remember, you're a work in progress, and every little bit counts. By practicing self-compassion, you'll create a more supportive and encouraging inner dialogue, making it easier to overcome procrastination and achieve your goals. Sometimes we need a little extra nudge to stay accountable. That's where commitment devices come in. These are strategies you put in place ahead of time to make it harder to procrastinate. One powerful approach is to tell a friend about your goal and ask them to hold you accountable. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitment can provide extra motivation to follow through. You can also set a public deadline for yourself. Announce your goal on social media, tell your colleagues, or even put it on your calendar. The fear of letting others down can be a powerful motivator. And don't underestimate the power of habit tracking apps. These can be incredibly helpful for staying on track and visualizing your progress. By using commitment devices, you're essentially creating a safety net for yourself, making it much harder to fall back into old patterns of procrastination. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine two versions of your future self, the one who procrastinated and the one who took action. What do you see? How do you feel? Now, vividly imagine the benefits of completing your tasks. Imagine the feeling of accomplishment, the relief of having that weight off your shoulders, the joy of achieving your goals. On the flip side, visualize the drawbacks of procrastination. Imagine the stress, the disappointment, the missed opportunities. By vividly experiencing both outcomes in your mind, you create a powerful emotional connection to your goals, making it much harder to justify procrastination. Use techniques like journaling or guided imagery to make your visualizations even more powerful. Write down how you'll feel when you achieve your goals, or create a vision board that represents your ideal future. We all love a good reward, right? But here's the catch. Don't wait until you've reached the finish line to celebrate your progress. Remember those micro steps we talked about? It's time to break out the confetti, or at least a little happy dance, for each one you complete. Rewarding progress, no matter how small, creates a positive feedback loop that keeps you motivated and engaged. Think about what truly motivates you. Maybe it's a delicious treat, a relaxing bath, or an episode of your favorite show. Whatever it is, make sure it's something you genuinely enjoy and will look forward to. When you reward yourself for taking action, you're training your brain to associate positive feelings with productivity. And that, my friend, is a recipe for long-term success. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate every win along the way, and never underestimate the power of small steps taken consistently over time. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a journey, and every small step counts. You've got this. Take what you've learned today and put it into action. Start small, be kind to yourself, and celebrate your wins along the way. I know you can do it. What is your favorite technique to beat procrastination? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have a great night or day. Until next time.